Undoubtedly, LARPing is one of the most bullied subcultures on Earth.
Magic missile! Magic missile!
We're always depicted in media like we're a bunch of losers, sexless virgins.
Yeah! Come! Tell me much!
Like that.
30. Limp. Step. Step. Aiden, by my power, fear me! Step. 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 Come on. Step. By my faith, fear me! I resist that spell. Step. Take them out!
No fetch waste.
That hurts, doesn't it?
It's just this thing that people talk about sometimes in hushed whispers or in internet forums. If they could see it, they might want to come along, might want to join it.
You get to, you know, fight the bad guys and save the good girls and the good guys and help the villages and be a big damn hero.
People can get very invested in characters and their stories. It can get very dramatic.
For me, it's being able to release some stress when you're fighting. It kind of gets that frustration and anger of the weekly, day-to-day grind, and you get to have it out, and then you get to role play with friends and just be someone else.
When a character dies, it's like they've died for real, and you get that real kind of lump in the throat. Some people just weep.
It's an escape from everything else going on in the world. And I also like just fighting people with rubber weapons. LARPing, that's short for live action role playing.
It is sort of a live-action Dungeons & Dragons, is how I've explained it to my mother.
But you go out and actually, instead of rolling dice, you do the things.
You dress as your character, you put on a voice, you put yourself in the mindset, and instead of going, I'm going to save the princess, you go and save the princess. This character is Ulf Surefoot. He's a Lamanusian, which in Fools and Heroes is basically the Scandinavia area, so it's Norway, Sweden, Denmark, all of those kind of combined into one.
My character is Ficus Philodendron. He grew up in a cult, a Longstore offshoot cult that worshipped a giant mushroom, which explains why he knows nothing about the land or the religions.
My character is Kai Hulu. He is the schoolmaster of thaumaturgy at the Guild of Mages. He's been adventuring as a mage for about 8 years now.
My character's name is Bart Stubbs. He is a former jailer. He is a follower of the god of nature of Longstore. Over the last couple of years I've been playing him, I've been ranking up, and as of last year I'm in charge of the church.
Well, LARPing at Fools and Heroes is really fun. It's a one-day thing normally, apart from the fest, so it's really easy to get into.
Regular adventure day, we arrive at around 10, some people later than others.
Yeah. Why are you getting rid of them?
I've just amassed stuff in like the last 5 years, and
then we have post-summer with...
and I got a friend over, and there was probably about 200.
So 2 referees will write a mission. The referees will then say what their mission is going to be. It's like a brief description of what what you're being hired to do.
Then in the afternoon, after we've had a lovely bit of lunch, you'll be tracking down the big bag of troll himself, Gons.
I'm going to give you a list before you go out, give you a amount that you can do.
Then we decide which mission we want to go on.
If you'd like to go fight foul spawn, go stand over here. If you'd like to fight undead, go stand over there.
Sometimes it might be story driven for yourself. You might have a character that is wanting to achieve something, so you have to play that mission.
If it evens out, it's great. We kind of jigger things around for power and armour and all kinds of things.
But I did bring him back. Who's got that dagger?
We'll ask people to change sides to make sure we've got the right kind of characters to make sure it works. And there's not a big power imbalance.
Once you've then split off into two groups, you have one group go into their player kit, so they'll get dressed up as their character, and the other team will go into monster kit and basically be the opposition for the day.
And then when you're all set up and the monsters are all set up, the referee will come in as the hirer, and they will, in character, then hire your characters to do what they're going to do during the day. You can ask questions like how much you're getting paid, where you got to go.
It can be anything from talky to fighty to puzzly. Sometimes there's different mazes and puzzles and riddles you have to solve. So it's a bit of everything for everyone, really. And then we go out for 3-4 hours and we have a blast. You could be playing a villager, you could be playing a monster, you could be playing a vampire lord. All depends on the story.
I will see my bidding. By the powers of Soulfire, may this weapon strike true.
When you monster, your role is to make the person who's playing feel like the biggest damn hero they've ever felt like. So if I get taken out, I'll like crawl towards people, or if they hit my arm, I'll be flailing around. I like to add in body twitches when I'm dying on the floor, so they have to come in and finish me off.
It very rarely gets super serious. It's supposed to be a bit light-hearted. It's fools and heroes after all.
I'm here to issue an eviction notice.
I'm here to tell you to get fucked.
I think it appeals to anyone. You've got the young people, you've got older people, you've got mums, granddads, teachers.
Lawyers, I know people that work in McDonald's, I know drivers, I know teachers, everyone really, any walk of life can join in.
Nerds. Joe said everybody, but nerds, you know, young and old, male, female, whatever, they're still on nerds. I'm guessing they're all nerds that do this. I LARP with my husband.
Our characters aren't together, so we don't try and mesh the two together.
And so we're sort of acquaintances at best, so it at least gives me an excuse to stand and walk next to him.
Ficus just works in my jail. That's the only relationship that we've got.
Other hobbies I have outside of LARP, obviously, probably go without saying Dungeons and Dragons. I bought a skateboard in the attempt to get back into it. I joined a group called Skateboarders Over 30, but I haven't actually managed to get on the board yet. So I'm building up to that. I'm not in my 20s anymore, so falling over hurts. I'm recently engaged this year, so we're hoping to save up for a wedding. I live with my partner in Swansea. We go for long walks in the woods and just kind of out in a gower. We also enjoy playing video games and reading books, listening to music.
I enjoy cross-stitch, video games. Back home I would dumpster dive, magnet fish, all sorts of weird stuff I enjoy.
My other main hobby is wargaming, so that would be Warhammer and board games and little tabletop games. I paint miniatures for them.
A prop maker is my part-time job, and as a hobby I like making things. A lot of the weapons that I use in game and kind of use in game are ones that I've made, as well as costumes and armor pieces.
This little cloak I made myself, just out of a sheet of green fabric and then some bootlace. But some people just make their own kit all together and bring it in. I made the rod of thaumaturgy, and it's out of real wood as well, so I try not to hit anyone with it. There's just a lot of creativity in the system.
So my props and costumes, some of it is handmade by myself, but I'll go to like a fabric shop and just buy different scraps of fabric and then get a leather belt and kind of hammer it to it. I think LARPers are really good craftsmen. I think a lot of people make their own kit. A lot of people have learned how to sew because of LARP, so they can create their own kit. I was quite lucky. I was taught how to sew when I was in the army, so I took that into me when I started LARP. But a lot of people have got into leather work as well. I believe LARPers are good craftsmen because they want to express themselves and they want to be creative and they want to be unique. They don't want to look like everybody else. They want to stand out a little bit. So if you've got something you created yourself, then you've got a lot of pride in that and you can, show off, hey, look what I've done. Creativity is incredibly important to LARPing and to myself as well. I get to escape and be the big hero, and I get to save the people in distress and those that are needy. So I get to basically elevate myself to a point where I get to feel like I'm making a difference. And I believe a lot of people get into LARP because of the same sort of things. I LARP because I get to do things I wouldn't normally do, taking charge of situations, putting myself out there. It's very strange. I suffer from a weird sort of low self-esteem until I'm LARPing, when I'm in all my kit and I've got my war paint on and I've got my helmet on, and then I'm like, yeah, I look and feel like an ultimate badass.
It offers a physical escape into some kind of fantasy realm.
When you LARP, when you play your character, you're not you anymore. Your character could be very different to who you are personally. They could have different personality traits, different fears, different wants, and you can just be that person for a couple of hours.
If you have the right people around you and people encourage you, it can build up your confidence, it can help you overcome things. It can also help you kind of decide who you want to be in life and to kind of adjust your view on the world.
I know that in some of the Nordic countries they use LARP as a type of therapy. Rather than, LARP doesn't always have to be in the woods. You can have LARP in a classroom. You can have it in just an office of people.
Through LARPing, I can kind of experiment with how I want to portray myself.
You can be in a social setting, but not you. And it's good to overcome certain issues that you might have by being in that setting.
A few years ago, I was never this outgoing. The idea of doing an interview would have sent me into a cold sweat. It's not a big group of people, but you are speaking to other people and they're listening to you and you're giving instructions or ideas or anything to try and come up with a solution to deal with the problem that you're dealing with. For me personally, it's improved my mental health no end, and my physical health as well.
It gives you a chance to step out of yourself and not worrying about, like, what are they going to think of me if I say this? It's, what are they going to think of my character if the character says this? So it's sort of like you have a shield.
And it's a safe space to kind of put myself out there. I can make myself more confident. I can make myself in the background a little bit, see where I'm comfortable.
I think 98% of the people that I meet at LARP are neurodivergent. Our brains work differently. We struggle with day-to-day tasks, but somehow throw on some armor and a sword and yeah, I'll take on that dragon.
I can push myself forwards into the front and just basically make a better version of myself. You could play a captain general character and they portray that confidence, they command the front line, they tell people where to go, what to do, alert people to attacks on the flank. And that can come into everyday jobs. That could go into managerial positions and it could give someone the confidence to stand up and make their voice heard.
LARPing, I think, appeals to a lot of neurodivergent people. Nearly everyone I've met has some kind of mental health issue. And we often discussed it amongst ourselves that I think weirdos seek other weirdos out.
I think a sense of community and belonging for neurodiverse people can be harder to find. And for me, someone who's always struggled socially with making friends and knowing social rules, LARP has been such an amazing way to practice and make friends.
It's like when you find out that you are a certain way and there's a whole community around it and there's that support system behind it.
LARPing with other individuals that have similar neurodivergent issues or anxieties is very crucial to our growth as people and as a community. The amount of people I've seen come out of their shell because of LARP has been fantastic. I know many people that suffer from autism and they can communicate more clearly as their character than they can in their normal day-to-day life.
For neurodiverse people, it gives a sense of power and control in a world where I don't feel like I have much, you know, because it's just so big and lots of things outside of my control.
I think it calls to us in some kind of primordial way and just pulls us together, and the whole community can go, we're safe, we're with people like us. LARP has shaped me as an adult more than anything else. I believe the experiences I've had and the memories I've made and the stories I can tell are second to none. Some of the friends I've made are the best people I've ever met in my life. It's definitely helped shape me into the person I am today and has made me more confident in my day-to-day life.
You know, when you were a kid, everything was so magical, you know, Santa Claus and all these magical concepts. And then you get to a teen, you get moody, and it's just like, wow, everything sucks. And the everything sucks thing you have to work with. It's like, well, I guess I'll make my own fun. I'll make my own magic.
People that I've met at LARP that I met, what, 16 years ago? Just in passing, that I've seen them maybe 2 or 3 times in that whole time. And we're still mates when we see each other. It's like no time has passed. And I was like, yeah, we'll continue on the conversation we finished 15 years ago.
Without imagination, life would not be interesting at all. It would be monotonous. It would have no kind of enrichment about it. And to escape into a fantasy world for just a little bit, once or twice a month, is invaluable because it keeps us sane. It drags us away from any kind of pressures in life, any kind of real world issues, and it gives us a platform to be able to solve problems ourselves and to give us that power of being able to fix something.
Perfect. Okay, that is a wrap.
How's that, guys?
Awesome.
Really good. Thank you.